Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dutch channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. And this here is the Aikon Electronics Hex 35 frame and, well, motors. But as you see it here, it won't do much flying as it, it's a frame with some motors, but that's it. There's no electronics in this frame yet. So, in this video I'm going to show you the content of this here box from Aikon. Also from Aikon. Aikon F7 Mini 45 amp all-in-one flight controller / 4-in-1 ESC. So you might think we've seen it all before, Dutch at Sea. Why? No, this is definitely a more interesting all-in-one board. It's maybe the way of the future, probably, as the size and shape of this all-in-one board is interesting, I think.
You serious?
So let's start by having a look at what we get for our money. We get a power lead with an XT60, which is probably appropriate for a 45 amp board. XT60. In my case, I'll be using an XT60 on this board. Okay, we get a capacitor. What kind of capacitor is this? It is a 35 volts, 470 microfarads. Pretty typical, not out of the norm. We get some mounting hardware, and we also get some cables, which should be interesting. What kind of cables do we get? Probably, yeah, okay, so this looks to be like one cable for your Vista, right? Not a cable, obviously, for an ESC, because it's an all-in-one board, but this will be for your Vista, in case you want to use that. And this will be for a receiver, probably, yeah, a receiver. And therefore the board should have two plugs, connectors if you will. Sure enough, it does, two connectors. So again, one for your digital setup, a Vista for instance, and one for your receiver. Okay, so that's the board, and you also get a layout, a diagram of the board, what connector is where. And yeah, oh, so there's also solder pads, connectors at the bottom of this board. Yeah, that's probably needed, as this is, well, again, like I mentioned, the size of this board is a little different and shape. So here's the star of our show, the Aikon F7 Mini all-in-one board. And if maybe you've already had a look at the product page, there's a link in the description, not an affiliate link by the way, but yeah, you have probably already noticed, and it might be hard to see in the video, but this is a two-layer board. Now, I've seen this type of arrangement, this type of board design from Diatone as well. So what? A daughter board of kinds. So, and why? This is still a 25mm by 25mm mounting pattern board, but it's smaller than other, let's say, 5-inch capable all-in-one boards. The all-in-one boards you've seen for that application, maybe even for light 7-inch quadcopters, are bigger, protrude further out from the mounting holes. Have a look at other boards in this class, 45 amps. In that class of all-in-one boards, those boards generally are bigger, especially if they come with two plugs like this one does. So the board is a little bit smaller, but still 5 UARTs, usable UARTs, and an F7 45 amp in an all-in-one board. And with that, the solder pads are a little bit smaller. The board is a little bit smaller. What are the solder? These are actually okay. But yeah, again, they've been able to make this board small because it's a two-layer setup. Now, I can't really see how they attached the two boards. It's not an anti-vibration setup, this, like some other boards in the past have had. But no, this is basically only a stack. It is a stack, right? It's a 4-in-1 ESC with a flight controller on top. But it's, well, glued together probably. Yeah, interesting. And again, This has been done to shrink the size of boards like this. Interesting. One thing of note, it has a micro USB connector and Aikon, that should have been a USB-C. By now, 2023, this should have been, it's not an issue, but especially if you want to use this board in a digital setup, your Vista will have a USB-C, so you'll be needing 2 USB cables in the field to work on your quadcopter. And even without that, USB-C, it's 2023. Okay, so yeah, that's the main catch, right? A 2-layer setup, but still on an all-in-one board, you get 5 addressable UARTs. Also, this board has a switchable power for your VTX, mostly usable or meant for analog setups, I think. But so you can, on a switch on your radio, turn on and off your VTX. That might be handy if you want to set your quad down somewhere and wait. Maybe other pilots are still flying, and then switch it on once the other pilots have landed, for instance. Or maybe you want to fly line of sight and not use that power. Okay, the board also has a 1.5 amp 10 volt out. So for your Visa or your digital setup, 15 watts, that should be more than enough for most digital setups, in my humble opinion. So yeah, again, the shape and size of this board is its main selling point. It does look and feel solid. I wouldn't hesitate to put this all-in-one board in a 5-inch and crash it a whole lot. This won't come loose, I think. It doesn't look fragile at all, so that's nice. What more can I tell you? Yes, so here is your F7 flight controller or chip. Here is an OSD chip, so it still can be used for analog setups, no issues there. And I am no electronics expert. Maybe you have some input on the looks and it does look neat. There's nothing on the board that's out of alignment, if you will. It looks well made, but well, that's as far as my electronics knowledge reaches. Okay, again, I would say that this would not be a board for a beginner. If you are new to soldering, these pads definitely are small. I will probably not be needing any of the solder pads, because I'll be using this plug over here for my digital setup, the Vista, and this one for my receiver, and call it quits. That's it. Right, and obviously these headers can be used for other things as well, right? You can hook up an analog VTX to this as well. I simply use that UART for a digital, for an analog setup. And the same goes for this one. This is probably a 4-strand deal. Yeah, this is basically just a UART. Can be used for anything, and as this is an F7 board, you can use any kind of receiver on any of the UARTs. So that's nice. Yeah, so that's about it. What more can I tell you about this? I will be flying this quadcopter on video. I will actually be doing a comparison between this Hex 35, or this, the Hex 35, and my Geek 35, my 2 Aikon quadcopters, one with carbon fiber propeller guards and one with plastic propeller guards. And it'll be interesting to see what the difference in flight characteristics is, I think. So I am completely sure that this all-in-one board will work just fine. As you probably know, Aikon Electronics have a good reputation in for their electronics, so this will be just fine. So that's it for now. If you are left with questions, hit me up and comment down below. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.